All right. Go live. Let's see. All right. So you have your canvas ready, hopefully. And you have, okay, you have your canvas ready. You're going to need at least 3 brushes, but this really small, tiny brush is going to be beneficial near the end. All right. I'm trying to use my phone and my laptop. You're going to need a wide brush to paint the background and a thin brush, but if you have a flat brush, you can paint sideways up to make the reeds. All right, so this is similar. This is the main idea of what we're going to be painting. You're going to be painting cattails. And these are plants that grow by bodies of water, usually fresh water. And the fascinating thing to me is that these plants are edible. You can't eat the brown part; those are seeds. That'll choke you. But it's the reed that grows up out of the ground. As long as it's being grown by fresh water, you don't want to eat any of these plants if they're growing by water that's not clean, because they soak up whatever. They're like a plant that actually cleans bodies of water. But they're similar to aloe plants. All right, so I decided to make this a lot easier by just painting the black background blue. We're not going to worry about sunsets or sunrises or bodies of land, because I noticed in the photographs of these plants, you have to be really up on them to see them well. And so the background's always blue. I kind of just added that on my own. All right, so you're going to get your wide brush. Oh, and the paint, the colors. Okay, let me see. Let me move this down so you can see. I have brown, white, a little dot of black, about 4 different kinds of green, but you can change the color contrast of the green by mixing in either a little black or a little white. So even if you only have one green, you can still change the contrast. I have a little bit of yellow just to also show a little definition. And I have 2 different colors of blue. But remember, even if you only have one color of blue, you can change the contrast by adding either a little white or a little black. All right. So we're going to get started by painting the background with your whitest brush. I'm mixing a little bit of white. You should have a cup of water. What did I do with the water? Is that right there? Hand me that. Okay, so you're going to have a cup of water to wet your brush with, and a napkin to clean your brush in between colors. Those of you who've been painting with me for a while already have these things ready, but this is just a little help for our new people. All right, so I wet my brush a little bit. I'm going to mix a little bit of blue with a little bit of white, and we're going to get this background painted. I'm going to paint up to about 1, 2, 3/4 of this canvas, because the rest is going to be covered with green. as I was researching cattails for these purposes, actually, it's interesting that they're edible because I can't imagine what situation I might be in or we might be in. And we have to make sure you do the sides of the canvas also, where you would have to be eating cattails like in an emergency situation. But it's interesting to know that they are edible. And when they in the video that where they were foraging for the cattails, they when they got down to the stems, there was a sticky residue, that was produced after peeling the leaves back. And they said that that sticky residue can be used as an antiseptic to clean wounds. Isn't it just so interesting to me? Because sometimes you might wonder, what did people do back in the day when there was no uh, alcohol and hydrogen peroxide and all those things that we just take for granted and buy at the grocery store, the drugstore. They can also be used not just as antiseptic, but to take this pain as a pain reliever, to take the pain out of the. Let me move my water over here. To take the pain out of bug bites and cuts and abrasions. Just so let's see. I hope this is coming out pretty good. If you notice that I'm using a little white mixed in so that it actually looks like water. It looks a little bit like water. I'm mixing it, and it looks like maybe a small pond, possibly. I'm here with my daughter and my granddaughter. We're painting. Um, it's so much fun to paint together. And I've done paint parties where you can get together with your friends, relatives, or coworkers and paint together. It's so much fun. None of the paintings ever look exactly alike, and that's part of the fun and amazement of how even with one idea in mind, it could come out looking a lot of different perspectives. And that's really that's the human aspect of it all. We could all be looking at the same thing and perceiving it differently, which is wonderful. All right, so I've painted about 3/4 down this, and I'm going to give this a minute to dry. I don't know if you could see that Um, let me move this over just a smidgen. You see that mixing the white and the blue together actually really looks like the surface of a pond. Because these cattails, you're not going to find them by the ocean water or the bay water, because ocean water and bay water is very salty. And based on my research, the cattails like what they call brackish water or fresh water, like pond water or the water of a lake, or even the irrigation spots on the side of the highway, they'll grow there. But I would recommend eating anything that grows in that space. So we're going to let this dry a minute while everyone still catches up, because I always get that I'm going too fast. So I don't want to go too fast. How are we doing? Oh, that looks beautiful. Do you mind if I show? Or look at that, looking good. You want to show yours, Aubrey? You're not done? All right. Looking gorgeous. Okay. You need more white? The white's right here, Sam. Could you just give her a dot of white? Another thing that you're gonna, those of you who've been doing this with me a while already know, all you need is a dot to do you. And that's how you're able to, all right, so now that that's drying, we're going to get our green ready. Now, if you notice, make sure your brush is good and clean. If you notice, you can see the strokes of the brush. You're not going to overthink this, people. You're going to use one stroke up, okay? One stroke. You're not going to go little. Sometimes it looks like, because nature created it so wonderful, it looks like you got to go in and do all that. You don't. So you're going to do one stroke, one stroke, one stroke. You're going to put maybe the lighter green in. And once you get that all done, clean your brush real good and go in and get a little bit darker green. One stroke. I don't know why I'm bending my knees, but I just want you to know. Where is the brush? Right here. Yeah. So if you notice, I have a flat brush, but I'm going to use the side of that flat brush. Or you can use your tiny brush if you have, but you're still going to use it sideways. If you have a round brush, use the smaller brush, and you're going to dip it in that paint green and just go stroke it like this, like maybe 20 big strokes of the light green, and then go back and get 20 big strokes of the dark green. All right, how you feeling? You ready to give it a whirl? All right, let's give it a try. I recommend wetting your brush just a smidgen. All right. Now I'm getting my paint, my green. Okay. Eventually, this entire bottom is going to be filled in with green, because whenever it's not filled in, we're going to go back and fill it. But I want the reeds to come up. Okay, we did the blue 3/4 down. Now we're going to do the green almost 3/4 up, not all the way up to the top, but up to about here, eventually, for at least some of them. All right, so let's get our brush and they're bending a little bit, guys, because it's windy. They're bending in the wind. I would love to have music, but YouTube won't let me. It's copyright laws, so then it can't be monetized, and you never know where this is going to lead. So let's leave the music out. But when you're listening to watching this video at your home with your friends, you can play your music in the background. Okay, let me do a little bit of that. All right, I'm trying another green, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white. More white, huh? Let's mix this green with a little bit of white just to show contrast. Oh, that's not showing up so well, is it? Not so much. A little bit. It's a little bit lighter. Yeah, I can see it's a little bit lighter. I think I'm going to need more white too. Let's just see if we can make this. Lighten up this green a little bit. Let me see that white. Did you get it back to me? Oh, thank you. All right, make sure you clean your brush in between greens because I noticed that that did not lighten my green at all. So let's try this. Let's see if this lightens it up a little bit. Yeah. Wow, nice. That lightens it up just a smidgen. Also, there is a dot of yellow that we're going to add to lighten up the green also. Yeah, I'm going to try and see how the black works. All right, that's good. And I think I'm going to try my really little brush with the black. Just put this up. Just get my little brush. And let me try this with the green. Let's see how this works. Oh, it's a little bit too dark. Yeah, it looks okay, but I wouldn't put too much of this in there yet. The dark, the black, green. I think I'm going to try the yellow now. Yeah, let's try the yellow. With the same brush, we're going to clean this and try the yellow with the same brush. I'm going to take my yellow and mix it with my green. Oh, that looks good. All right, now that I got my taller strokes in, I'm going to use my green and yellow to fill in the bottom half of it's closest to the water. I don't know why it's not. I'm going to try a different brush. This is not filling in the way it did yesterday. That's okay. It's all, every painting is different in its own way, which is fine. I decided to make my living room all beach scenes. So Shaheem, the seagull, and my cattails. Samantha just showed me a great painting that I believe we're going to do next week. We're going to try to make waves. We're going to be making waves next week, guys. We're going to do the sea and the sky and a sailboat. But the waves were really looking great. And I think we're going to try that. We're going to paint waves. I'm going to be practicing using some best practices on how to create waves. All right, once this is done, we're going to go in with our brown and actually paint the cattails. Remember that I'm recording this and I'm going to keep it uploaded to Facebook so you can come back and revisit, slow it down, speed it up, make additions as necessary. All right, I think I'm ready for my cattails. Now that the background is all done. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. And now I'm going to use my brown and make my cattails. Now, in the wild, cattails, I think, can grow up to 6 feet in height. This is a bit of an illusion, but we're going to not all make them the same height. All right, so we're going to make them, some of them are going to be taller, and some of them are going to be way down in the bush. Okay, so let me get my medium, my smallest, third smallest, so I can have a little bit more control over the size of my cattails. Nice and clean. Let's draw our first cattail. All right, so this first one, I think I'm gonna make it nice and right about here. They're shaped like a hot dog. And during part of my research, I was surprised that some children bit into the thing. It's filled with seeds. You'll end up in a hospital. So if you break it open with your hands, it's like a dandelion. Like when you blow a dandelion, it's all like packed filled with that stuff. All right, so let's do another one right here up close.
So it looks like a hot dog, but it doesn't taste like.
No, right. It looks right. It looks like a hot dog, but it tastes like straw. Listen, don't rush. Even though it seems like I'm rushing, I want to get this done in about 30 minutes. I can do that. Take your time because the video will remain on YouTube. You can always go back. So please take your time. Don't feel like you have to keep up with me. All right, I'm going to put another little one right here. Yeah, this part is not the part that's edible. This is like the seed pod. You go on YouTube, you see it. I'm going to put another one up here. I'm really liking the way mine looks without the back sunset and all that. Really liking the way this is looking. All right, now we're gonna do some down here, like in the deep. Oh, that one. That was not. That was not dry, and that's okay. That's okay because it will be dry one day. I'll have to come back. If you paint it and it seems like it's mixing, that's okay. Do not be alarmed because you can always come back and paint over it. I'm gonna do another little one down here. Cool. Cool. All right, I think I'm gonna leave mine looking just like that. And I'm getting the feeling like I'm down by the water, relaxing. There, I can hear the seagulls screeching and the little waves lapping up against the shore. Make sure the paint doesn't get on the floor. There you go. Okay, we're gonna clean that up. And we're in 30 minutes already. I'm gonna leave this up for a few more minutes, but I want to say thank you to everyone who joined. I see 2 people, and I'm grateful for you. I'm glad you could participate. So last summer, I was able to do it every Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but we will be together again this coming Sunday. Remember, you're going to need a lot of blue. You're going to need all shades of blue. So bring all the blue that you can get. Most of this paint came from the Dollar Tree, which is now the $1.25 tree. Some of my paint comes from Michael's. This paint is a little more expensive, but it's thicker. If you know what I'm saying, it mixes very well. These little ones, these are coming from the craft store. They're awesome. You usually get them in a case of 8 different colors. So we're going to bring all of our blue next weekend because we're going to paint waves. We're going to be making waves, guys. We're going to make waves. And the beauty of, I don't know, there's something to me about having your own paintings on your wall. I love that. I could never really wrap my mind around having other people's artwork on the wall when I am an artist. Sam made her own little art gallery. So I'm going to take a picture of that, not at the moment, but I will take a picture of that and post it so you can get ideas. Oh, that's beautiful. There you go. And when you're done with your painting, oh, they can't see it. Wait, let me let the, yeah, this part is done. Yeah, we're done now, but Sam, there you go. Hold your painting up. When you're done with your painting, please take a photograph of it and email it to me at gkelly2ya@gmail.com. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Bye. All right. Let me see if I'm done over here too. How do you stop it? All right, guys. Bye. Thanks for coming. Wow, I did get people. 28.
What?
What?
No.
No? 28 people.
Where did you put it?
I put it on YouTube and TikTok.
Are you serious?
I didn't know.
Wait, that's a lot.